this is what it is to raise up the next generation. And it begins at this age in teaching them the ways of God.
You know, sometimes I'm like, oh, we should be doing this. We could be doing this. We could be doing this better. But it's like, hey, you know, let's just teach them how much God loves them.
What made you feel connected to church and youth ministry, and what kept you coming back?
Youth leader after youth leader after youth leader that I had growing up until I became a youth leader made me realize, like, these youth leaders are amazing.
Where does that servant heart come from, and how do you get a servant heart?
Caring about others, helping others, like instead of looking in ourselves, like how can we help others?
It's a conviction thing.
Yeah.
So I was convicted that wherever I go, whatever church I go, I'm going to serve the Lord.
One of the biggest blessings for me building a church from the ground up is being hands-on and at the grassroots level of being on the load-in team with you guys. With everything in me, I want to make sure that when we build a culture where we're never too big to do the messy stuff, the get our hands dirty, serve the Lord with gladness.
Yeah.
Well, we are having so many great conversations. We have chatted to some young adults in our church. We've chatted to the youth pastors in our church. And now we are taking it up a notch. We're taking it to the next level. We have Maddie and Josh sitting here, who are our kids' pastors. How do you like that? Do you like that title? You're like, pastors?
It's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure. But these guys, they are like a Swiss Army knife. Let me just say that, because what I mean by that, they're like a multi-purpose, like kingdom purposed. They do everything. They carry so much, but more than that, they have such beautiful hearts. And Maddie particularly oversees our kids ministry called Parable Kiddos. So this is Maddie and Josh. Meet them. And Josh actually leads a lot of our logistical load in and load out, which has to be the most glamorous job in the world, right?
It's the best thing in the world.
It's the best thing in the world. But to see that grow and to see that, like, you know, take formation is really cool. And, you know, there's not many, when you're not there, you were sick a few weeks ago. Yeah. We all crumbled, man. We all were like, we don't know how we're going to do this. Yeah. But, guys, thanks so much for being on today's episode. It's so great to have you guys. We've already chatted to young adults. We've chatted to get a perspective on youth. And now we want to talk a little bit about kids and even just what it is to serve God. Because, Maddie, we've known both of you as well for a long time, but kids ministry, Parable Kiddos, has to be, if not one of my favorite ministries in church, only because if there's one praise report that we get from church on a Sunday, it's not my message, by the way. Come on, someone give me some sort of, it's actually, we have such an encouraging church. It's not how good this was or that was. One of the biggest praise reports I get from people is the kids ministry. Wow. And people finding a home because of the Parable Kiddos. And I just think that comes down to you two guys, you know, giving your all into investing into these kids. But Maddie, isn't it funny? Because when we first started out in Parable, I was like, Maddie, I just need someone to look after the kids. Give me 2 weeks.
Yep. Yeah. I remember you said that. You said, give me 2 weeks. And then it was like, give me a month. And then it was like, okay, we're going to find someone. But until we find someone, can you do it? And it was like, always even from the platform, it was like, we're still trying to find a kids person. You know, we're still trying to find it. But I feel like it got to a point where one day I was like, hey, Pete, you actually don't need to find someone. Like, we want to do it.
Wow. That's so cool. Look yes, it did start out like that. But funny how God works, because I know we have been blessed as parents, not just pastors. We're blessed as parents because every kid in our kids ministry just knows Maddie and Josh, and I think that's such a healthy sign of a kids ministry. But tell us about it, Maddie. How's it all been going? Josh, if you want, like, what's it been like? What's your favourite things about Parable Kiddos?
I mean, it's been great. We love it. We love what we get to do. Yeah. I think it's been really cool to see the journey from starting as a babysitters club. That is how we started to now a full-blown like kids ministry where we've got a worship team coming in. We're like speaking to the kids about God. We're praying with them. You know, we're breaking up into discipleship groups. Like to see the progress, to see how kind God has been to us and to our kids ministry is amazing. And we just like every Sunday we have so much fun. I love that, you know, sometimes we're like, guys, wait, but we've got kids waiting there as soon as we are setting up, being like, we want to come in, like, and we're like, no, guys, just wait. But I think it's awesome. Like, kids want to be a part of it. Kids want to come have fun. I think it's really cool to see the friendships that have formed. Yeah. Like seeing, you know, these kids 12 months ago that were shy, didn't want to come in, to now, like, they're coming in with, like, their best friends, and then they're like, is this person coming today? Is this person here? Wow. Like, the friendships that are forming has been so cool to see.
Yeah, and I've witnessed that for myself in seeing families get connected and find home. Yeah. Because a big part of that is because of Parable Kiddos. And I'm a big believer in a strong, healthy church. A big part of a strong, healthy church is the kids ministry. Because I really believe that everyone that, you know, is trying to find home, as a parent, you want to be a part of a community where there's something, not just for your kids to be babysat, but like they're being imparted to. Yeah. And that's why we're pretty particular on not saying it's a babysitters club, because it's not. Neither is our youth ministry. Neither is any of our ministries. It's kids ministry because we're ministering to the kids. And a few weeks, maybe months ago, these guys introduced kids worship. And I love it because at a young age, we're teaching them to worship. Yeah. I love when my kids come home and they know the Lord's Prayer. Yeah. They're going over Bible verses. Yeah. I was putting my 5-year-old to bed the other night and she was just repeating what she had learned in Sunday school or Parable Kiddos. Oh. Yeah. And I just got to say, it makes me emotional because I'm like, this is what it is to raise up the next generation. And it begins at this age in teaching them the ways of God. Yeah. So you guys put together like sometimes like curriculums. How do you come up with like, you know, creating these Bible studies and curriculums and like, how does it all get put together?
I want to say that I don't do any of those things. This is all Maddie.
Yeah, but you're a supporter.
I am a supporter. Just Maddie with us.
I could not do this without Josh. So it's
absolutely. That's exactly right.
It takes a team. Yeah. I think it is a team. Like we have the most incredible kids leaders, the most incredible team that has come alongside us to help us. Yeah. We've never been in kids ministry before. Yes, we've done youth, but we're kind of just making it up as we go. Wow. But we've got a team that, you know, some of them have done kids ministry. Some of them have led ministries.
So you're drawing on that experience.
On that experience. It does help that I'm a teacher. Yeah. So using some of that experience to get like the curriculum and the lessons. And I think also it's like, we're with kids, like it's like a childlike faith, like keeping it simple. You know, sometimes I'm like, oh, we should be doing this. We could be doing this. We could be doing this better. But it's like, hey, you know, let's just teach them how much God loves them. Good. Let's just teach them that like he cares for them. Yeah. He's got a plan for them. He's got a purpose for them.
I love that.
Like, let's just keep it simple.
Yeah. What are some of the outcomes you're looking for, Maddie, when it comes to like, okay, we've had a successful Parable Kiddos. I know what one of them would be is when the kids listen and stay, you know, obedient to the program that's happening.
That's a huge one.
Outside of all that, what would be like one thing you're going, yes, we're hitting the mark here?
It's actually crazy. I noticed like Josh and I on a Sunday morning will always pray together before the service. Like we'll pray over the main service, pray over kids, and like specific things. We'll be like, okay, God, today we're praying for peace in that room. Today we're praying for kids to feel connected, for friendships to form. Wow. And it's amazing when we pray those specific prayers, how that morning turns out. Yep. Like some mornings I'll have just said a quick prayer and I'm like, okay, God, I get it. Like I should have spent longer praying to you. Yeah. And like a successful morning looks like we've had a great morning in worship. The kids have been engaged. The kids aren't talking during it. The kids are like fully engaged with the actions and with the songs. Yeah. A great morning looks like, you know, friendships are forming in our discussion groups, you know, where kids are wanting to pray with one another.
Wow.
A successful morning looks like we have so many kids that are like, hey, can I help? Hey, can I help? Hey, can I help? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like we're running out of things for them to help with.
We need them on the load intake. Can you get
We're trying.
Wow.
Yeah, that like a successful morning looks like the kids are walking away, they've had fun, and they've learned one thing about God.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, you're killing it. You know, I've known Josh for quite some time. Honestly, since you were a kid yourself, and I've seen you in leadership as a youth leader, but then not only a youth leader of young people, youth leader of leaders, and you've actually got quite an experience in ministry. I don't know if you know that, Josh, but like, what are some of the things that stood out to you when growing up in ministry, and I guess what made you feel connected to church and youth ministry, and what kept you coming back?
So when I remember being in the year 7 and 8 youth group at my old church. I was quite introverted, quite shy. Didn't really know anyone, but my brother kept forcing me to go to youth and just like check it out. So one time I went to youth, and one thing I appreciated are the youth leaders.
Wow.
The youth leaders, seeing that one person, which was me, was there alone, having a chat, 5-10 minutes, telling them to come play basketball, come play video games. And from then on, it just youth leader after youth leader after youth leader that I had growing up until I became a youth leader made me realize like these youth leaders are amazing.
Yeah.
And they're such a blessing to my life, and they actually care.
Yeah.
They care. They don't just care about an addition to like another number to a youth group, but they care about that one person who actually like they want to know about me. They want to know about like my likes, what I don't like, the games that I play, the sports that I play. But more than that, just to actually like be there with me while we're in the service, learning about God. And and when I became a youth leader, that was one of the things that really stuck out to me.
Good.
And made me realize like I want to be that guy.
Wow.
I want to be that leader to find those people who may be sitting alone and actually like get to know them, be with them, and introduce them to other people as well, to other young kids. And just seeing that over the years, been a youth leader for over 9 years, and encouraging other leaders to be like that too, and ultimately always finding that one person that you can talk to, that you can have a chat with, and actually like be there for them. Yeah. And have those chats.
So good. I've seen your confidence grow over the years, and it's been really cool to witness that, because I remember for some reason some of my first memories of you, because I knew your older brother. It felt like in the early years of me knowing you were like the shy kid. I always knew you as like E-Man's brother. So you were just this shy kid, but then to see your confidence grow, and I'm talking about specifically in those youth days, you grew into this confidence. And then one day I just remember you became like the leaders of leaders. Back then I think we called it tribal leaders. And I remember seeing you on like a barrel, war paint, maybe a shirt off, and like chanting. And I was like, is that Josh? That's Josh. And it's just so cool, because that was the journey of seeing you go from this young, shy kid who probably came by himself, pressured by his brother to be there, to then come into your own. And I think that was, for me, seeing some of the first signs of early leadership on your life and seeing the call of God on your life. Funny, the call of God on your life was you, like, shirt off, going crazy, leading a chant for young people. But like, to fast forward now to what you're doing today and putting some of those skills into leading a team and leading our load in and load out team, like it's been pretty special to watch. What do you think helped you grow in your confidence? What were some of those things?
I think what helped me grow is my relationship with God, first of all, and just knowing that it's a conviction thing. So I was convicted that wherever I go, whatever church I go, I'm going to serve the Lord. And wherever it is, especially when you asked Maddie and I to lead kids, we didn't know how to lead kids. 2 weeks, I'm like, I didn't know. But at the same time, this is where we were placed, and this is where we're going to serve. And it's one of those things where, like, it doesn't matter who my pastor is, it doesn't matter who my leader is, but if I'm serving the Lord, that's where I am. And when I got the opportunity to lead the bump in and bump out team, it's just been amazing. Of course, from the starting years, the first six months to a year, it was a struggle. Not many. We didn't have many people that were able to come in the morning to help out. But at the same time, it was one of the best things ever. Wow. So having Maddie's dad join the team and having a couple people. Yeah. Can I name drop?
Yeah, absolutely. Give them shout
People
outs.
like Dean, people like Art, Matt Chaseling, and seeing them and actually getting to know them while we're setting up the umbrellas, setting up the signs, and getting to know them, having those little conversations. Those are such blessings apart from serving God as well.
So good.
And having served in the bump in and bump out team for over a year and a half now, it's just been incredible.
I love it. Yeah. What is it about you two that, you know, I can hear it in Josh, like serving the Lord. Like, I love it. You're such servant-hearted people, and you know, that inspires me. And it doesn't mean you're just yes people, you know, you're not just like, yeah, we'll do anything. But there's something about you guys where it's like you're purposeful, you're servant-hearted, you go above and beyond. How do you guys maintain that? And where does that come from? You said like it comes from a relationship with God, but you've maintained it for so long, and it inspires people around. I talk to people all the time who go, man, Maddie and Josh. Where does that servant heart come from, and how do you get a servant heart? Is there anything that you can tell us and teach us?
I think a big part for me was like from my parents. Yeah. Like my parents are some of the most generous people I've ever met. And they like taught us that from a young age, like being servant-hearted, caring about others, helping others. Like instead of looking in ourselves, like how can we help others? What can we do for others? And I think it was just ingrained in me like as a child to just like always be on the lookout for others, always be helping others. Yeah. And I think as I've grown older, I've just like, that's what I've always wanted to do. Wow. I love being able to help others. Yeah. Like it's a blessing for me. I feel blessed because I can help someone else.
Wow.
Yeah,
Isn't that such a lesson for especially parents? Like your young people will reflect who you are and pick up on things, right?
Yeah. And they never specifically said, like, this is what you have to do. It was just who they were. Wow. And it's just who they are. And it was like,
and cool. They're still like that.
And they're still like that today. And it's like, cool, I want to be like that. I want to be like them.
Yeah, because something I noticed about the Mahaffey family is you guys go above and beyond, and like you talking about that, I'm like, makes sense. It was exemplified, and it continues to be exemplified. What do you think when it comes to Parable Kiddos, when it comes to being teams? What do you see for the future of what you guys lead from Parable Kiddos to the Load-In team? What would you guys like to see, and what could that look like if you had vision for the future?
You can go first.
I think it's seeing like more kids coming to know Jesus.
Beautiful.
I think I love that we pray the salvation prayer every week with them, and you know, some weeks it's the same kid every single week praying that prayer.
We'll take that salvation.
But we'll take it. But I think, it's seeing more kids come to know Jesus. Wow. It's expanding our team, growing our team, like coming up with new ideas, coming up with new programs, like how can we make things better? Good. I mean, one day it would be awesome if we had like a treasure chest or like, you know, where we can help kids with additional needs, stuff like that. Like I think these are just the beginning days for Parable Kiddos.
Totally.
We've already seen an amazing like progress from where we've been, but we're just walking in like the beginning days. We're just starting with what God has to come, like what God has planned for it.
So good. And I love it because you are making the best of
what we've got.
And let me tell you, it's astronomical what you guys are doing with what you have, you know. And so I love that. And yes, that space with additional needs, I think, is a much needed space. And we want to facilitate that and build that. But you know, it's like we've got to take one step at a time. Let's do this.
And that's what it is. It's one step. You know, how can we be like, you know, the saying where it's like 1% better every day. How can we make it better every day?
So
how can we? I think as we keep going, God's going to reveal things to us and unveil things to us of like where this kids ministry can go.
I love that, because that's one thing I definitely want to be a part of the culture of especially our leadership teams. Is one of our kind of who we want to be is like, how can we improve things?
Yeah.
Not something that's unattainable, but like, what can we do to improve? And, we sit down every week and we look back at the weekend and okay, what worked? Okay, what didn't work? What can we improve on?
Yeah.
Call it a feedback loop, whatever you want to call it. But it's a great dialogue and great conversation because we want to continue to improve. We want to go, how do we better facilitate families? Are our sign-ins working? Are people waiting long? And so we're doing this not because we're trying to reach perfection. We're trying to do this to just go, okay, it's little by little. It's step by step. It's 1% by 1%. And sooner or later, you look back, and if we look back at the last 18 months from where we started in this small space to now, like you guys have taken it leaps and bounds, and that's just come through one by one day at a time, one Sunday at a time. Let's continue to improve. So I love that you're saying that. What about you, Josh? What has that look like?
For me, well, to speak on the bump in and bump out team and also the logistical team, to state the obvious, we need more team. Yeah. But at the same time, to have to build team not just in numbers but also as a strong community. Of course, we have a great community in our church. It's been amazing and just getting to know everyone. But also, when we're in the, I was going to say the trenches of just like setting up early morning at 6:45, packing down. One of the last people to leave, but at the same time, it's not about like the challenges of that, but also just building that into just not doing bumping and bump outing, but also doing it outside of church.
Wow.
And being able to maybe doing coffees together, catching up, having lunches, or even spending time with each other, having families. So
good.
This is one of the things that I really want to see in the near future.
I love it because I love seeing the load-in team. You can sense the camaraderie, and I love being if there's one team I am a part of, and I say to everyone, I'm a part of that team, it's the load-in team, because for me, it's inspiring, like coming from the world we came from, which was Hillsong, which was had great resource and support, and you had your own building and you didn't have to load in. One of the biggest blessings for me building a church from the ground up is being hands-on and at the grassroots level of being on the load-in team with you guys, because I never want to be too big to serve. Like nothing can be, with everything in me, I want to make sure that when we build a culture where we're never too big to do the messy stuff, the get our hands dirty. Now, as a leader and as a pastor, and I've got to make sure that I do keep my eyes on the vision of the church and not get too swarmed in the details and get too stuck. But what I love about it is I just love being a part of the team. I don't want to lead the team. I don't want to give any direction. I just want to be a part of it.
One thing that's encouraging to me is seeing you there, where everyone comes there early in the morning and actually like help out. And I know you're busy, but maybe you're sharing a message or like you're doing something afterwards. But at the same time, the seeing it there is so encouraging, also so inspiring. I don't think just to me, but to like everyone that's serving as well. So
that's cool. Yeah, but I love it, and I do it because I just want to be a part of the team, because it invigorates me. Going, oh man, I feel like I'm building church. Obviously, we're building church, but it's like, oh no, we're doing something. Yeah. And, whether I keep doing that in the years to come, that's another story. But in these early days, I think it's like all hands on deck. And we've got to keep making sure we pioneer together. And you guys are doing that. And I just want to like appreciate you guys again, because you guys, you've said yes to the call of God on your life. And you guys have just, for Laura and I to lean on you guys in a personal way has been the biggest blessing to us. And I don't want to spend too long here because I might get emotional. But then also, your heart and your spirit, above any tasks or anything that you guys fulfill, your heart and spirit is something that I think is contagious and inspiring. And I just want to say, keep that heart and that spirit where it's like anything's possible. Like, let's go for it. And there's challenges in ministries and there's obstacles, and we get to sit down and talk about it every week. But what I love from you guys, there's this heart and this spirit that's like, there's obstacles, but like anything's possible. Like let's go for it.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Yeah. Right? 100%. And it's early days and we got so much in front of us. And I think the foundations we lay are so important, because tall buildings are only tall because their foundations are deep. Yeah. And 100%. I think you guys are a part of the foundations. We're going to look back in years to come and go, wow, Do you remember, Josh, when we were bumping in at 6:45?
100%.
And, it was raining. It was literally raining on the weekend and it was wet. I walked out and I saw Josh and his team soaking wet.
Drenched.
It looked like a wet T-shirt contest or something like that.
We were all drenched.
It was just, they were drenched.
It was fun.
But it was fun. And you saw this smile and the gladness on their face. And it just reminded me, like, serve the Lord with gladness.
Amen.
Yeah.
Whether hell or high water, whether it's raining or stormy, serve the Lord with gladness. And you guys exemplify that. And is there anything that you would want us to know as we kind of bring this to a conclusion when it comes to, like, kids ministry or serving, or is there anything that you'd love us to know as a church or anyone tuning in from around the world?
I think just keep praying for our ministry.
Yeah.
I think any kids ministry needs prayer.
Yeah,
we all need
absolutely.
prayer. We need all your prayers. So
Yeah.
just keep praying for it. Keep praying for God's kindness, for more leaders. We're definitely in need of more leaders.
Yes.
We have an amazing team, and we are so thankful for that.
Yeah.
But we do need more.
Come on.
And that doesn't mean like joining the kids team may mean you help with bump in or bump out. Like it may not mean you serve just in the kids.
Good.
So we're in need of all areas.
Yes.
Anything else?
Just pray for us.
Yes. Absolutely.
Just to keep us
Fit.
strong. Keep us
Strong.
fit, strong.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'll
I think,
continue to do
I think
that.
we have a great kids ministry, and I think it's only the beginning days. We're seeing like God has so much planned
Come on.
for these. Like
Yeah.
we have incredible kids that come to our ministry,
So
and I
good.
don't just say that to say, "Oh, well done, parents," but
Yeah.
it's like God has placed each and every family in our church for a reason,
Come on.
and we're just seeing the beginning days of that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, guys, it's been such a privilege to not only have you on the podcast, but continue to do life with you guys. And I'm sure from everyone at Parable Church, they'd be shouting down on their screens right now saying how much they love you guys. We're thankful for you guys, and we can't wait to see what the future holds, which is going to be amazing. So thanks for being here today.
Thanks
Thanks,
for having
Pete.
us.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it. That was our podcast. 3 episodes in one. You got 3 in one. Something special, something that I believe is going to bless you as we just talk about generations and what that looks like in church. And so listen, do us a favor, subscribe, share it, like it. If something stood out to you, send the link over to someone. But this is Peter Toggs signing off for Parable Essentials Podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye.